Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. I'm Trevor Aung Than with Circus Conditioning. And once again, we have Hannah Watt joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And we're going to look at another Pilates specific pose today. Excuse me. And this will be a rotational exercise. So we've looked at forward bend, we've looked at a backward bend or an extension, and now we'll look at twisting or rotating the spine. We'll look at two ways that you can actually make a real change in rotation and how you can get your thoracic spine moving a lot better. And there's two components to that. It's the thoracic spine moving freely and being extended. And then also the other thing that can really restrict that, as you know, Hannah,
Yes.
is tightness in the chest. So if you're an office worker, if you study like Hannah does and spend a lot of time in front of the books or the computer or the laptop, these are probably some really handy techniques that you can try. So we'll look at the pose, shall we?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, so the stretch or posture is book opening, simple spinal twist or spinal rotation. So Hannah, if you could please demonstrate. Hannah's in right side lying here. Her knees are bent. She keeps this right arm or whichever arm's on the floor in contact with the floor. Her scapula or arm is coming through there, and then she rotates, obviously opening up and rotating as far as you can go, keeping that hand in contact with the ground. Just keep going through that, please, Hannah. And we're looking at a couple of things there. So we are looking at how far this arm is getting to the floor. Where are you feeling the stretch, Hannah?
All through my pecs.
Through the pecs mainly.
Yeah.
So Hannah's saying she feels it in the chest, in that left side.
Yeah.
And just do one more rotation, please. How does that feel in your back, in your spine?
It's quite good.
It's quite good?
Still a bit tight through my thoracic.
Okay. And so she's opening up as much as she can there and rotating backwards. Obviously the knees stay together and stay on the ground, so not lifting the knees up there. Okay, Hannah, so just go through the rotation. So looking at it from this angle here, pay close attention to just the space between the floor and Hannah's arm and shoulder, and just rotate through one more time, please, Hannah. And you'll notice, obviously, you're going to be different at home. You might be getting the hand down easier. Your hand might be quite a long way from the ground here, or you may be able to get lower. So just depending on where you're tight, and what we're going to try to do here is actually release that pec off a little bit there, Hannah, and we're going to try to increase your rotation through that area, which will hopefully help with the twist. Okay, so the first technique we're going to do to try to help with your twist, Hannah, I've just got some massage balls here, and I've got two identical balls. These could be tennis balls. Lacrosse balls are actually really firm for this, so you probably wouldn't want to start with a lacrosse ball, but you could probably progress to a lacrosse ball as you get more use to the technique. And all you do is get a clean sock, preferably, and you place the balls in the sock. And that just forms a nice little massager there that we can help with some thoracic extension. So Hannah, if you lie on your back, head up this way and feet that way. So what I'm going to do here, so if you just stay in that position there, Hannah, for a sec, I'm going to place the ball. If you're at home, if you've got a longer sock, you could actually do this yourself. If you've got somebody there helping you, just place that just in line with the shoulder blades or the scapula. And Hannah, you're just going to lie back onto that, just gently. Good, and just take your head down to the floor. How's that?
It's nice.
It's nice?
Releasing.
So a couple of things there. If you're finding that was hurting your neck at all, Hannah, how does that feel in your neck?
It's all right.
It's okay. We could prop up there and have a little pillow or a folded up mat under your head. Hannah, I'm going to get you to move your arms here. So I want you to lift your arms up. And what this does is we start to move the tissue, the scapula, the muscles in that area. And you'll start to find, Hannah, just start to move, just come up into hands overhead. How's that?
Yeah. I feel it getting stronger.
Yeah, so as Hannah's describing, the stretch or the actual release is actually getting stronger as she moves her arms. And what you want to do is actually play around with your hand position. So this time, Hannah, I'm going to get you to come up to here with your hands. Good, and now I'm going to get you to cross your arms. I'll move out of the way so you don't hit me in the face. And then open them up and cross them the other way. So we're starting to move the scapula here, looking at this specifically to try to get some more extension in the thoracic spine. How's that, Hannah?
Stronger.
Yep. So you would do maybe 5 or 6 repetitions until you feel a bit of a generalized release in the tissue so it didn't feel so stiff. And then we'll move the balls. So we'll actually reposition the balls now, Hannah. So if you use your strong abs and come up, I'm going to move the ball up, so towards your head. And just make sure that's in the middle of your spine. Is that positioned okay?
Yep.
Yep. And just repeat the process, Hannah. So she repeats lifting up through there. How does that feel compared to the last spot?
Not as tight.
Not as tight. Good. And then if you could do so all Hannah's doing there is crossing her arms 1, crossing her arms 2 over the other. Obviously, when you're doing this at home, just make sure you're doing it on a firm surface. Usually doing it on your bed is too soft, so you want just a yoga mat on your carpet or on your floor would be perfect. Now Hannah's done this before, so she's familiar with this technique. If you haven't done this before, it's actually quite a strong technique. So I just advise you to go quite slowly with this. Only do as much as you can tolerate, but you'll find after you've done it a few times, that probably feels a bit easier now, right? And then what you would do is progressively move the balls up. If you come up again, please, Hannah. And the other thing just to make sure is obviously your spine, so we're really testing your abs there, your spine sits in the middle. So you'd come up to about here, so Hannah will just do one more position. And that at some point will get too high there, so you're probably not feeling much of a release. Yep. So we're too high now. So Hannah, if you come up one more time, sorry, and we'll go a little bit lower. So we could actually come lower there. How's that?
Yeah, that's stronger.
Yeah. And we'll do one more rep or set here. So Hannah, if you bring up. So again, it's just lifting and dropping the arms, creating more thoracic extension. What the ball is doing there, it's helping to get that movement happening at the vertebrae, which from many hours at a desk or driving in a car, we lose a lot of that thoracic extension. So this is actually a really nice stretch to do. How's that?
It's releasing.
Good. Excellent. And we will do another technique now, which will also help with the rotation by looking at opening up that chest. Okay, so the second technique we're going to look at is using a foam roller. Now this is a long foam roller and it only works with a long foam roller, and Hannah's obviously got her hips on one end of the roller, her head's well supported at the other end of the roller, and using her legs as support. So feet on the ground, just so you don't fall off the roller there. So Hannah's going to bring her arms up to this position, 90, 90. So 90 degrees flexion at the shoulder, 90 degrees flexion at the elbow. And you can see here, this is a really nice test for you guys to do at home, because we look at the length of the pec here. So this is something really important. You're okay there, Hannah?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
It's quite a strong stretch through my pecs.
Yep. So Hannah's just saying she's feeling quite a strong stretch there through her pecs, so through her chest. And what you can see there, and if you do this at home, is actually take close note of how close your elbows are getting to the floor. And that gives you a good indication of length. So some of you might be up here, which is fine. It just means they're obviously quite tight anteriorly. So, and then some of you might actually be getting your elbows down quite easily to the floor, which again just means that you're reasonably quite loose through there. So this in itself is a really good stretch, right, Hannah?
Yeah, it is.
Just by using gravity-assisted stretch there, and slowly trying to get the elbows to drop to the floor. Mm-hmm. Another thing you could do is to actually add a little hand weight in the hands, and maybe to prop up with a little pillow or a folded up towel under the elbows, and using some weight to actually assist the stretch further. And then you can actually add some dynamic movement. So what Hannah's going to do, just very slowly, you could do that with the other side as well, Hannah, is just start to move up and down. So she's just moving up and down with her arms there. And you'll just find that's a nice dynamic stretch. How's that feel?
It's It's nice when I go up, my arms a bit higher.
Yeah. And of course, if you've had any history of shoulder problems here, guys, rotator cuff problems, you'd obviously be really careful with this. Just go slowly with it. And if there's any pain there, of course, do stop what you're doing. So let's retest the twist and see if we've made any change, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so after doing those two techniques, so you can spend maybe a couple of minutes doing that intervention with both the balls, the roller, doesn't matter which order you do them in. Okay, Hannah, if you just repeat the rotation again. So let's look at, this is obviously after the intervention here, and just look at that's getting a lot lower now, isn't it? So we're getting nice and low to the ground. Just because we've released the rotation through there, we've accessed a bit more rotation in the thoracic spine. And two, we've actually stopped some of that restriction in the front of Hannah's chest, at her shoulder, up through here. And that's helping us get more rotation and opening into the spine and the shoulder. Looking good. Mm-hmm. Where do you feel the restriction now, Hannah?
It's not really anywhere. Quite
No restriction. Ta-da! So, two key things there, guys. So we looked at rotation, how we could actually get more happening at the thoracic spine, in the middle of the back, just with a simple massage device, tennis balls, and how we could also release the tightness in the front, or opening up the front of the chest to get a bit more rotation and chest opening happening for that stretch. So we'll have to make sure you do the other side as well, right, Hannah?
Yeah.
So, thanks, guys. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
So please, if you like the video, obviously try it at home, see what kind of results you get, and let us know. Let us know if it helped and how it helped, if it helped. Like it. Please keep following and watch the rest of our videos. Thanks very much.
Thirty.